Here to introduce Eddie Block and Alan Dreeben is Hall of Fame legend Dick Evans.
It's my pleasure to introduce Eddie Block and Alan Dreeben, brothers-in-laws and partners in their business. Frostbank relationship started with the Block family in 1953 when Ed Block borrowed $20,000 to expand his distribution business from Tom Frost Sr. Ed then, a year later, called Mr. Frost and said, "Mr. Frost, I'm bringing a check to pay the loan in full plus interest, and I'm bringing a bottle of champagne because we're going to celebrate." Mr. Frost said, "Well, we don't drink alcohol in the bank." And Ed said, "Well, you're going to drink it this time because that was too hard." The business continued to grow through those years. And then, as we all know, Eddie and Alan came along who had a vision for even greater heights. And they first needed to dominate the San Antonio, and they dominated San Antonio, but they wanted to dominate Texas. And through an acquisition in Houston and Dallas and other smaller ones, they then took that position of being the dominant distributor. Alan always focused on the spirits, and Eddie, backwards, Alan was on the spirits, and Alan focused on the wines. Soon, Alan and Eddie realized that having a Texas company was wonderful, but the industry was changing. And so the next thing they began to do is they brought a partner in from New Orleans, then went to Atlanta, Georgia, and then continued to work around in all those areas. Today, Republic National Beverage Company is a family-owned business, one of the nation's leading wholesale beverage alcohol distributors, 40 markets from coast to coast with revenues of $13 billion. Please welcome Eddie Block and Alan Dreeben.
Oh, please. Oh, my God. I'm really a pretty good public speaker, but you guys have messed me up by standing up. So if I mess up, it's your fault. I'm blown away by tonight. This is one hell of a reception. I can't believe it. I want to thank the Texas Business Hall of Fame for this recognition. I am humbled and I am honored by all this. Never in a million years did I think my name would be associated with the past recipients and current recipients. Truly the culmination of my 60 years in the business, or our 60 years in the business. I still think you made a mistake, but I'm taking it. I want to go back about 60 years. That I went to work for Ed Block in South Texas, and he started the company, as it's been said, in 1939. He's just a little warehouse, a truck, and a dream. And today, now we're in 40 states with thousands of associates. I don't like the word employee. And I'm so proud of all of them. There's a table that has several of my associates. They're like family. And without them, we would have never done it. They were a critical part of our success. And probably the proudest part is that they did it with ethics and values. And we still do that today. I'm so proud of that. Now I want to thank you. It's a rare thing. Now I want to kind of switch gears and go over to thanking my family. My beautiful wife, Barbara, right in front. 3 great daughters, Lisa, Allison, and Paige. My son-in-laws for putting up with me, Kelly, Josh, and Mark. Thank you for putting up with me on this incredible journey. I loved every minute of it. And ups and downs just didn't make any difference. I'm going to close by saying another passion, which is evident from this, is that besides my family at RNDC, is education. And if you want a more productive world and a safer world, you educate the masses. And so I'm proud to be part of this, in that the Texas Business Hall of Fame, you've seen all the scholarships that they've given. They're doing a part of all that. I debate whether to close my remarks with this, but I'm going to say it. I'm an American of the Jewish faith. I'm not an Israeli. I hurt for them, and I hurt for the Palestinians. I just hope you'll keep them in your thoughts and your prayers so that we can get this thing over with. Thank you very much. You got it?
Well, I guess you're handing it off to me.
It's up to you.
Okay. Well, been working on this for
Yeah, speak in the microphone.
Thank you all for, can y'all hear me? Thank you all for being here tonight to celebrate the induction of the newest members of the Texas Business Hall of Fame. At the heart of the Texas Business Hall of Fame is philanthropy, something that is important to me, and it's important to everybody in this room, because you all support a lot of things, as you know. It's by those young people who were out here earlier. So what I'm going to attempt to do is tell you all what the origin of block distributing and the evolution of block distributing. So at about 1940, my father was a route salesman for a wine bottling operation and distributor in Denver, where he was from, and he was good at it. And then things changed a little bit, and the owner of the business, the distributorship in Colorado, was taken by my father, and he decided to offer my father an opportunity. And the opportunity was to move to San Antonio, where he had never been. And that way, it was going to give him something. Well, the business wasn't doing well, and he thought my father had just the ingredients to make it work. So my father moved to San Antonio. Part of the deal was that he got a warehouse and he got wine bottling equipment. So he would continue to bring in tank cars of wine by rail, and things were going pretty well. I had heard about Texas Business Hall of Fame several years ago, and once I heard about it, then I would look in the press the following years to see like the identities of the next group to be in the Hall of Fame. So one of the things you all learned tonight, if not you didn't know it before, is that this once you're inducted into the Hall of Fame, you're automatically elevated to legend, and which I think is appropriate. So I would look over the ledge. I would look over the inductees for that year, and then they would publish the legends from years past. And the more I looked at it, the list, I knew that it was made up of my business heroes in the state of Texas. Well, then my father, sorry. So my father moved to San Antonio and started bringing in tank cars of wine
You said that.
for sales to Texans. The owner of the distributorship sent my father down to San Antonio, and it was my father's dream to make it a success.
I think that's
Where am I here? Anyway, so my father enlisted two cousins lived in Colorado to come down and help him run this business. One was in charge of the wine bottling equipment and the wine in tank cars, and the other gentleman, the other cousin, would procure the bulk wine that came in by rail, and then he would also be in charge of bottling, deliveries, and collections. And then something really positive happened. World War II was ending, and prior to that, the alcohol that was heretofore used to make spirits, which were very popular in those days. So what they would do, they would send the wine to the war effort. And they did that for a long time. So then Prohibition ended, and they...
I think...
What? I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Sorry.
I think that's enough.
So spirits were now becoming available again, and that was an opportunity that my father spotted, and with his connections in the industry, he was able to get spirits added to the wines that he had, and that made all the difference in the world. There was so much pent-up demand for spirits. It was pretty easy to be successful. Then my father decided it was time to spread his wings and buy some distributorships in other parts of Texas. And then he went to contiguous states to open up distributorships for wines and spirits. So the dream was still alive. Okay, sorry. Okay, sorry. Yeah, I will. Well, on behalf of our family and the thousands of our associates in 40 states, thank you for this recognition and your generosity. Thanks in large part to you and your generosity, my father's dream is still alive, and we owe it a lot of it to the Texas Business Hall of Fame. So 84 years later, the dream is still alive. Thank you.